Fear, integrity, and asking for help. Why do these things all fit together? They just always do. In this video, we're gonna explore fear and how integrity helps with this, especially when you're asking for help, asking for that advice, asking for assistance to help you through whatever you need to get through. Roll it. Welcome back to another video. For those of you new, hit a subscribe and a like if you like this video when you watch the whole thing. And then watch the rest of the series to get some ideas moving in your mind of what we've touched up on, so that this all starts making sense and potentially helping you move in the right direction. You're probably here watching this video because of the series, or because the title. People fear asking for help. Fear comes from the ego, and I always talk about the ego because it's a great topic, and I should do a whole series on the ego. I really should, honestly. I should. However, the purposes of this, let's look at the ego very quickly. The ego sits there and goes, you don't need help. I know what to do. As in previous videos, the ego is temporarily trying to get rid of this awful feeling that you have on your chest. It just wants to move it away. And it's gonna do whatever it can to do that, even if morally sound what you're doing does not make sense. This is why people will do stuff that you never thought they would do. And you're like, you scratch your head, you're like, what the hell is going on? This is unreal. Because at the end of the day, we look at things when people do certain things and we have to ask ourselves, what were they thinking at the time? But more importantly, where was their emotional state at that moment? When somebody doesn't want to go see the doctor, it's because they're fearing the doctor. This is for somebody who's critically ill. They know they're ill. They know they need to go see the doctor. But inside, they're still Superman somehow from when they were 16, and they don't go. Fear is really what's causing this, but it's fear from the ego. Now, when the ego realizes that, there's no good result of what I've been doing and we really gotta go see the doctor, then all of a sudden, when the signs are all like, it's all red line, you need to go, guess where the person will go? To see the doctor. And this is the reality of life. I have experienced this with many people who had to redline. They had to be right at the end. The cliff was right there, and then they decided, you know what? Let's go to the doctor. Can you come with me? I don't want to go on my own. That is where the ego goes, well, what are we gonna do now? We gotta go do something because I don't want you to die. It's the end game. It's that fear of dying, and you don't want to die. And does this happen in everything else? Well, yes, every other choices, decisions we make in life, this does occur. However, the extreme is our health, and that is when we really, pick up our socks and we're like, we gotta get healthy. This is why somebody who has been, living this bad life of, just beating their body down will reach that stage where they're like, okay, I'm gonna stop eating fast food, quit smoking, stop drinking, I'm gonna go to the gym. I've never been in 30 years, but I'll do it, and off they go. Do we need to reach that point? Well, no. So what really needs to occur? As in the last video, it's practice of integrity. We need to continually practice integrity. This is to say that every decision we make, we gotta look inside at our values, at our mission and purpose in life, and ask ourselves, what is morally right? What is, according to our values, right in this situation? If it is to go get help so that you can move forward in your career, then move towards that. If it is for your business, move towards that. If it is for your relationships and your family, your marriage, then go get the help you need. It's all too often that I meet, especially husbands, I don't know why, but they don't want to go for marriage counseling because, I don't need that. I know I'm a man. I know what I'm doing. Well, okay, relax. And then when the wife finally says, we're going to get a divorce if you don't do this, bada bing, bada boom, with a little bit of a push and a shove, they'll get there to keep the marriage alive for as long as they can. If they participate actively in it, well, now things will start to get better. Hopefully. I should do this. That's a hope, but usually if you really actively try and you implement everything that's occurring, the marriage should get, in theory, better. This is why we always encourage it, and then we also coach through the scenarios that are occurring to make things better, because at the end of the day, you need the most amount of motivational influence at that moment where you're getting the help. I see it a lot with business and men who are in business, who have been in business for 30 years, who see a young guy who's been around for 10, 15 years, and they look at him and they go, what do you know about business? When I started business, you weren't even born yet. And then after a lot of pushing and shoving and getting them moving in the right direction, they start seeing the results. Off they go and results start piling in. It's amazing how a result-oriented, that focused mindset on the results will change somebody. But they need to see that in business, and they can't get their mindset out of there. It always helps to have a supportive spouse that's going to be like, you know what, we're at ends game here. We need you to, step up here and take the advice. In that case, the ego again is playing the mind games. Integrity has to stand out, and it has to ask, or beg the question of saying, what's best for my business? What's best for my family? Is it time to, accept that I'm not doing as good as I used to? Because times have changed, and because times have changed, I need to change, or else I will totally fail. And this failure mentality that I've had will only bring me down to the ground and game over. Again, that red line is achieved, and all of a sudden that push, and then the climb is so much more. I made a video, by the way, on this. I will link it below. I suggest you watch it. Integrity plays a critical factor in everything we do. Practicing it every day will alleviate that mentality of thinking with that emotional fear coming from the ego. Practicing integrity on a daily basis on all the decisions that we're making allows us to really put a brick wall up against the ego and say, hold up, let me make the right decision, versus allowing the fear to take over and really ruin us in whatever we are trying to achieve. So next time you're looking for help, you're looking for advice, you're looking for that motivational factor to push you to the next level, remember that fear is the biggest culprit here, and you don't need to hit rock bottom before you get the help you need. Work with yourself, work with your values, work with being humble in what's good, what's right. Make a logical decision that will help you and those in your life see better days, because you're gonna get the help you need, versus thinking you're still 16, Superman, indestructible, and the whole world's still yet ahead of you. This is Nikos Rentas. This is mentorsapproach.com. Hit a like, hit subscribe, and tell us, leave a comment below and tell us what was, that moment that you wish you didn't let it go hit rock bottom, and how different it would have been if you hadn't, so that somebody reading that comment down the road might learn something from it and get them moving in the right direction.
Snowy